welcome to Darker Days Radio presents Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition. This is our ongoing, relatively new chronicle called 24-Hour Party Monsters. I'm one of the regular hosts of Darker Days Radio. I'm Chris, and as always, I'm joined by that way it's Ian. We're joined by Ben. I know that one because it's below on the screen. And we're joined by Fiona. There we go. Ian is playing a ministry vampire called Azana. We will get more into that in a moment. We have Ben playing a Tremere vampire called E. And Fiona is playing a Ventru called Louise. Yes.
Basically myself. I'm playing myself as I do in every game. So yes.
No, you're playing the straight character for once, in that you are not playing the comic relief. So I mean, you're not playing your usual self.
How do you know I'm not like this all the time, Ben? That's the thing.
Right.
I put my ministry costume on, then I had to remember that I wasn't playing me as a vampire. I had to play a different kind of ministry character. So Xana's a little different than me. So I had to shift a little bit.
Okay, so last time we left it, we had the introduction to all of our new characters for this chronicle. So Xana is a ministry vampire who had, in years past, fled their home country, arriving in the UK in Manchester, and is a underground kind of, semi-famous DJ locally, and has to play it very, very carefully so as not to get too much interest and for your cover to be blown. We have Fiona playing Louise, and Louise is a Ventry who is in charge of front of house for Hotel Gotham, or at least front of house to ensure that all vampire guests are dealt with appropriately. So you deal with ensuring that the location is safe, that ghouls and appropriate security are doing what they do, and of course at times the location is chosen to host events for the Kindred Society, including to be a location for Elysium. It's possibly, I guess, considered one of the jewels in the crown for the anarchs of the city, given that the Camarilla would surely want to get their teeth into it, quite literally in some respects. And then we have E, who is a Tremere vampire, so is trained in mystical blood magics, and is a tattoo artist who has a underground studio in Hotel Gotham, which you don't get there so easily. It's kind of an invite only thing, and it's definitely not advertised.
We don't like the riffraff.
And is also already done some rather nasty stuff in our first session, such as committing arson, having blacked out and killed someone.
That was not my fault, okay? I want to make that very
I think you'll find
clear.
it definitely was your fault.
It's the beast's fault. Nothing the beast does you can be accountable for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the beast's fault. I woke up with 4 hunger and then made a messy critical. I liked the shop owner, okay? But as far as I'm concerned, I did community service by burning down Forbidden Planet.
Right. With that, the story actually began properly with an illegal rave at a rundown apartment block where you attended because obviously you have links and contacts with people who are members of the various.
Didn't I end up taking over
businesses.
the DJ?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did kind of do some DJing there. Obviously, you have your own contacts with within Mortal Society, whether they're drug dealers or criminals, fences, etc. Always useful to have such contacts when the very things you deal in are border on the illegal anyway. Always good to grab dirt on people and get information, or to supply them with various narcotics. at that rave, everything was going fine. Everyone was having a great time. Everyone was just generally being chill. Well, kind of chill, unless someone called you a school teacher. But there was the discovery of a body of a attendee to this rave, and they are. Well, that screen is sorry. Something's flickering on something, and I don't know why. I'm just going to check.
The rave is continuing.
Check my connections.
We must have a technical problem every time.
Yeah. Let me minimize that. That might help. Sorry, I'm just checking. We've not got any technical issues while I'm just watching this play.
Yeah, go for it.
That looks okay. Anyway, carrying on. And so you investigated this body, and it clearly had signs of some sort of weird blackening of veins around bite marks that had reopened.
I want to specify here. I did not have anything to do with the investigation. Somebody said body, and I left.
You scarpered.
He was the one that was like, body? I'm going to go find it. Like, no.
I was like, body, I want to make sure that this can't be attached to us.
And by doing so, it was attached to us.
And by doing so, it was
to be fair, it was attached to us because someone did a very good set. So that was nothing to do with me.
Yes. So a prominent anarch called Lucas Dog Dalgleish basically said it's your business to sort this out because it's for the benefit of the entire of the anarch society, and the last thing they need is something which would give the Camarilla carte blanche to essentially purge a fair amount of the kindred within the city, especially given that there seems to be an element of some sort of infection which is being spread seemingly by vampires or by a vampire. It's unknown, and there are other bodies that have been reported, and this is the most recent one. And so these bodies have been, are at one of the hospitals, or at least they are at a hospital or hospitals, and you are on your way to the Royal Infirmary Hospital in Manchester to basically have a chance of investigating Kim Daring, who is the recent victim, to look at her body and to see if there are other bodies kept there that have similar kind of infection. So that's where we kind of left it. You are currently being driven by one of Dog's enforcers called Cisco. He's driving you there. It's obviously begun to rain. It's late night.
Obviously,
it's Manchester.
You are pulling up to the Royal Infirmary Hospital, which is a very old building dating back to the Victorian period, though it does also have other more modern construction data from the 70s and 90s. So it's, part kind of Baroque in its style, with red brick and very tall windows. But then other parts are obviously got modern cladding and, steel and glass kind of structure, or horrible concrete that is barely hidden by whatever cladding they have. Outside, you would basically be pulling up into the main car park and disembarking there into the rain, and yes, there are various ways you could possibly get into the hospital. Obviously, there is A&E, accident and emergency, where you can go in and perhaps sneak in that way, or perhaps you could go in via some other route. Other things to say about this hospital, it's got a lovely red brick exterior, imposing columns, domed towers, balconies. There are various rain-stained statues. One particular sculpture that I learned about researching this when I originally wrote this scenario is there is a relief at the front gate of the hospital, when it would have been back in the Victorian period, which depicts 7 figures of Christ healing the blind man. The halls of and so you can imagine, you get a feeling of that this is a very old place and has seen lots of history. Yeah. So what do you guys want to do? You basically need to make your way to where Kim Daring's body has been taken by the ambulance. And by
So we're heading to the morgue then, eh?
that would be where you want to go to.
I have no idea how to get into a hospital. I haven't been in one ever. So I'm going to do the stand in the rain and smoke a cigarette in Manchester thing.
That would be the appropriate thing to do.
You are
And
quite
let you-
literally surrounded by other smokers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some of them on ventilators themselves, you know. So,
Right.
The best ones for that are the ones that are on live oxygen. Just have the
Yep.
cans of tin.
Oh yeah, there's definitely someone like that.
Canisters.
There's someone with a canister outside with a ventilator mask around their neck, yet happily chain smoking.
I will they're absolutely bum a light from them. A light. For sure.
And one of the things we're going to do that we should have done at the end of the session, but actually I think is more interesting to do at the start of this session, is to deal with E's humanity and your.
Oh
status.
yeah, we have to see what happened.
So
Oh, dear.
let me find the rules for that in the book.
Side.
Humanity
Because I'm
2.1.
currently at Humanity 3, technically, I believe.
yeah.
Well, no. You've got your humanities.
5.
You've got 5, and you've got 2 stains.
Two stains on it. So
Yeah.
I think that does that take you down to 3, or does that
No. Don't worry. The stains
Okay.
go into the empty boxes that you have, which means basically the lower your humanity, the more stains you can take. But obviously, lower humanity means you have a harder time interacting with people. Why can't I find the
dear.
right page there? I looked it up.
Yeah, basically you earn stains, and then once you are all full of stains, real bad things happen, and your total number might change.
Okay.
Like you finally have done too much and you break, and so yeah. So like my humanity is higher. My humanity is 7.
But you can take less
I think
damage.
I'm the
to it.
same.
But yeah, if I do anything, I'm gonna feel super bad about it.
Yeah. I believe the 2 of you are both 7 actually, and
That's correct.
E in their pursuit of becoming human again has been like, humanity. I can get that back
So-
when I'm human.
What we're going to do then is, Ben, you are going to be
Yep.
making a remorse roll, which is you roll a number of dice. So black dice. You never roll hunger
Okay.
dice in this.
Okay.
Equal to the unmarked, unfilled dots on the humanity tracker. So in this case, it's 3. For example, humanity was humanity 6 and 2 stains would roll two dice because they would have 4 boxes and they've stained 2. The number of
Okay.
dice in the remorse roll, if the minimum number of dice is always 1. Okay. If the remorse roll results in at least 1 success, you feel guilt, shame, regret, and you remove all the stains. So just roll
Great.
3 dice. You need to just
Feel
get a 6
bad.
or more.
On 3 dice, I got 2 successes. It says.
2 successes. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you
Nice.
can remove all your stains, and
Oh.
you have felt remorse, guilt for what happened previously in the last session. You've somehow reconciled it, or you've learnt from it, whatever.
As I said, I did the world a favour. I burnt down.
New Aeon books.
Yeah.
Brilliant. So yeah, you're stood
Oh.
outside this hospital. What's your plan?
Well, I can go in, maybe cause, well, not a scene, but some confusion at the info desk if you want to go in and actually look at the body.
I mean, I
More?
definitely want to do that anyway, but Zana, can't you just turn invisible?
I'm really good at standing still. I'm not so good at walking around.
Okay. Understood.
Sorry.
No, it's great. Like I can go into the bathroom and hang out. Nobody will find me. I can hide, but I can't like stalk around and chase people. I would much rather get people to like me being around. I could go to talk to folk if you want me to like be a distraction or something. But
Getting into a hospital is fine. It's getting into the morgue that's the problem, because getting past the front desk no one actually asks you at the front desk what's going on. They're there for people to ask them for help. So the problem's going to be when we get to the morgue. And unfortunately, unless we can give more information or evidence that we're attached to this woman, we're not going to be able to get to less.
But they don't wheel dead bodies past the front desk, right? Like there's another door.
Oh no,
Yeah.
we can get past the front desk, fine. Getting to the morgue is going to be a bit weird because the morgues are always in the basement and they're always usually connected to a bunch of other things that are going on inside the actual hospital.
But I think Zana has a point. Surely we can look for like a estate's exit or something like that and slip on inside and avoid.
Well, there'll be an actual there'll be an entrance around the back that'll have a private elevator that for taking in bodies and things like that, or a loading ramp so that people don't have to view it. But again, that tends to have a camera and it tends to have a key card or a ring for access. We can actually get to most morgues just by walking down there because people have to view bodies to identify them and stuff.
That's what I was considering. Yes, identifying
it's
the body.
the people on that door we're going to have to deal with.
That should not be a problem. I can deal
all
with
right,
that.
bro. If you can handle that, then I mean, we don't actually have to worry about anything else in that regard because people come into morgues every day. In that,
I am going to say at this point for everyone watching, hospitals are actually dead easy to walk around for most things.
They are super. Yeah.
Case point for this was when myself and my partner were in Boston in the US and we're visiting to go to the Ether Dome, the old it's the old museum, but it's the old theater where they would, people from the public back in the day would see autopsies and so forth, and where ether was first used for its clinical uses. It also has a mummy in there, which is interesting. Trust me, it's brilliant. Talk to Mike about it, and from Dark Days Radio, I'm sure we're going to have a whole conversation about this at some point. But getting there, it's incredible the amount of things you walk by. You just think, I could have easily just walked in there. There, and no one pays a blind bit of notice.
All about confidence.
It's all about confidence. If you know if you look like you should be going somewhere or should be there, they don't give a toss.
And it's even there's a psychological phenomenon for this. If it's open to the public in any way, even if the area that you're in is not necessarily open to the public, people will assume you're there for a reason unless they do not recognize you as having access to that thing. And only then will they typically actually, confront someone. And there's a whole spectrum of people out there who will actually just assume that you have the right to be there by deign of the fact that you are there. This is how a lot of people in the criminal situation wear high-vis jackets and can walk in anywhere because most people assume that they have a right to be there or a reason to be there, and they don't want to conflict with someone, so they just don't ask.
So are you saying that all vampires should wear high-vis jackets?
I was gonna pull out of my little purse.
Yes,
beautiful.
a high-vis jacket and a hat, and you will actually be completely ignored on most CCTV.
I do like the idea that in the Haven now there is we do have our own sort of cloakroom stuff, and there is one for each of us because we've done it so many bloody times. We're like, oh, okay.
I was just thinking of going and asking some fanboys to go spray paint the cameras.
Oh yeah, true.
If we're going to the morgue, we've got a right of access in that regard anyway. We can just say that we were there and checking out to see if it was a friend. We heard that there was someone. There's always a reason for people to be visiting someone that has public access.
Let's go in. I'm sure there'll be a map or a site thing we can but do we want to split up at all?
God, no.
Yeah.
Zana's never been to a hospital. When was the last time you actually went to a hospital there, Louise?
I don't tend to see doctors. I don't like sick people.
So of the two of you, you're going to stand out like a sore thumb because you won't know.
No, I'm just
Follow
following
me.
you.
I know they've repainted recently and stuff like that, but I was here not too long ago
I
anyway.
mean, I'm sure it'd be quite, I'm sure we can ask the nice young gentlemen who are doctors here and maybe the young nurses. I'm sure it'll be absolutely fine.
Gentlemen.
Hmm.
Oh, God, you're out of touch, Louise. Come
I
on.
take fine. Carry on.
So, are you just heading into A&E because it's going to
Yeah.
be bustling with people?
Well,
I
no,
mean,
I
it's
was
going to be.
Don't
going
need
to say
to.
not A&E, but maybe like the nights. I don't know. I'm sure not A&E because I'm sure they'll be busy. So
We
I don't
can
know.
go into the main entrance, and that's where the big receptions typically are.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we'll breeze past there immediately. The morgues typically aren't signposted within the main entrance, but there's usually a hospital map that tells you which routes you need to follow to
Yeah.
find the morgue, because people, they don't want people having to ask for help if they're there to identify a body and stuff.
Where do you keep the bodies?
Exactly. That's exactly
Where is
it.
she?
And
Where is
it's
she?
because it's a surprisingly traumatic event identifying a body. They don't want people breaking down in the reception. That's the legit thing here.
Interesting.
All right,
Right,
so
yeah.
we're following E.
Yes.
So
And,
yeah, you breeze past, you head in via the main entrance. The doors slide open. There is a receptionist, but they're clearly watching or reading something. They're not really paying attention because it's basically empty. No one's there. If anyone is attending the hospital, it's at A&E where people are having their stomachs pumped, or there's been a car
Yep.
crash, or there's been a brawl. All the typical things on a night out.
blindingly bright fluorescent lights, like
Oh,
sunglasses
there's
on.
definitely one that's flickering,
Yeah.
and there's a suspicious stain in one of the foam ceiling tiles.
Obviously,
I
yeah,
absolutely
there
have
definitely
sunglasses
is.
on, actually.
Yeah, you
As a follower of Set, I have to have sunglasses on.
you walk down these these halogen lit hallways. There's a sterile smell to it all. Clearly, things have been cleaned with strong detergents, bleaches, and something that smells like TCP or similar. Your senses being kindred, of course, you can smell the telltale scent of blood in the air from whatever's been going on, or at least whatever smells like, that scent of human, as it were.
I'm hungry.
And as you carry on down the corridors, following the correct route, checking the map every so often, checking the signposting, making sure you're following the right coloured line on the floor, going past orderlies who are mopping things up. At some point, you pass like some poor old dear who's suffering from some sort of kidney failure, who's on a a bed, but trolley bed, but she's outside of where she should
so
be
sad.
because clearly there's not enough space. They're waiting to move her into the right ward. Yeah, it's depressing, I guess, is the way to describe it. It certainly reminds you all of the frailty of humanity. You head down. You maybe make a decision not to use a lift. You said maybe take the staircase. Maybe
I'd take a staircase.
And one thing's for certain is that as you go down one corridor at one point, and it changes from being typically modern to being altogether old Victorian, as in you can see the old frames that's all been painted up. These frosted windows that would look into, say, some room or some office, and you really get a sense of how old this building is. At least for Manchester, it's relatively old. It's quite old in that sense. And you keep walking. You go down. You ask, maybe you ask for an orderly some direction just to make sure, but they're only there on just above minimum wage, I expect, doing a job they hate at a time of night where they'd rather be in bed, and of course they don't care. Your confidence, obviously means they just point the right direction.
We are meant to be here.
You always ask someone that's moving a bed.
Yeah.
Because they do not have time
yeah.
to care.
Mm-hmm.
You
I want to
also
know which one of you is going to stop me from lighting another cigarette while I'm in the hospital. Okay. Like,
Oh yeah, I don't like it.
Literally, it's just the sound of you opening the packet, and E just turns around, pulls it out of your mouth, and just goes, "No, no."
all
right,
of you
sorry.
can make a wits plus composure roll. Though I'm wondering. Actually, no. Who's got no? Let's say wits plus awareness.
Wits and awareness. Oh yes.
Real quick, what's our hunger at? Is it maintained
the
from last
same.
It's
game?
maintained from last session.
Okay.
2 successes. Nothing to worry about on the
Okay,
hunger
good.
dice.
Are all of us rolling?
Yeah.
Ooh, that is. I got the new dice, so now I've got to look up things. So that is. Ooh,
We're
so
using the same app.
2 successes.
2 successes, excellent.
So I have a success on one of the hunger dice, but I also have a critical fail on one of the hunger dice,
Oh,
and no other successes.
okay, that's fine. You just got 1 success then.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Good. Okay. I will say that as you're following the route where you think you should be heading to get to the morgue, Louise, you don't notice. You just keep walking and forget that these two are mostly bickering behind you about the cigarettes. Like that was a new pack of Marlboros or whatever, or Lucky Strike, whatever your particular poison is in that sense. Menthols.
Oh my! You are a cloves person, and we both know that. You are a cloves.
I mean, I'm trying to be different from me in real life. I smoke cloves. My character smokes menthol.
But you two, as you're like bickering over this, you're outside a private. The door's open to it. It's a private ward, and the lights are low in there. You can just hear the constant beep of a heart monitor, and then you realise it seems to get quite icy cold, and you both at the same time look into the room, and it's gone very dark in there. And for a moment you're thinking, is that just a coat hung up on a hook? And instead it looks to be, as the lights flicker, a figure that gets incredibly tall looming over the bed. And as it does so, you just hear this inhale of breath from it as it goes and then the lights flicker again and it's gone.
I'm so glad I did not see that.
Look at E. Like, slowly look at E.
I know quite a lot about spirits just by Dana, the fact that I have to learn the wards to keep them out. What the fuck was that? Was that death?
Did you see that?
Chris, do I know anything about this sort of thing?
You can make an intelligence plus occult roll right now.
I will make that roll. Finish 8 dice roll. That is 5 successes, including one of my hunger dice.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah.
Can I make a roll too with my swap and 3 dice?
Yeah.
2 successes. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. E, you're certain that whatever that is definitely what you would classify as some sort of ghost. You've only ever seen them in passing in very old buildings where you've possibly been, doing kind of kind of that urban exploring, looking for items that have been forgotten, left behind.
Uh-huh.
And you've seen things like that sometimes out of the corner of your eye. You've never really had true encounters or interactions you've seen weird things where you feel like, okay, maybe they want me out of that house. Like you've sensed things fall off a shelf or weird lights.
Well, I can also see the other worlds in that regard.
Yeah, in that case, yeah, as well, because you've got heightened senses. You've perceived things. I don't know what your feeling is with dealing with them, whether you've gone out of your way to deal with spirits, or you've just kind of been, I'd rather not have to deal with them.
For as long as seeing someone. That's why he's now curious about this thing, because he now wants to go in there to make sure that this thing didn't just kill that person.
No, not our problem. No, we're here for something else. No.
If we have the ability to do something about it, it's our problem, Xanadu.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes. That is
The only reason we're here is because some high and mighty anarch decided that they would threaten us if we didn't come and look at this. I'm not dealing with somebody else's bullshit.
Okay. Counterpoint. What if I can make them help us?
Then what? Death? I don't need help from death.
It wasn't death, just a malignant spirit.
Just a malignant.
Louise obviously realizes they're not with you, right?
Louise!
Oh.
We've stopped. Louise carried on walking.
I can hear some. I'm like, oh, for goodness sake, and carry on because I'm gonna be back at the hotel. This is on my lunch break technically, so I've got to speed walk. So I would have continued on, not caring. These
go
two bicker
with
all the
Louise.
time.
You go. We don't bicker. This is love. You go with Louise.
I'm
Don't
not there.
light up, but just catch up with Louise. Follow the green line, all right, and then swap onto the brown line, and you'll get to the morgue. Catch up with Louise. She can't be that.
Can I still see where Louise is? I'm gonna get lost in the hospital.
She's like really far down the corridor.
Yeah, they're really long corridors.
Yeah, just go. If I'm not there in like 6 minutes, please get Louise and come and get me because I will be in a horrible position.
So Xana's just gonna like anime hoof it down the hallway.
And then he's gonna enter into the private.
Okay, so into this private ward, into this private room, there is a elderly man. They obviously have a respirator. They're linked up to oxygen. The heart monitor is still going, but it's less frequent. Sounds weaker to you. And they've got next onto their bedside table, I think there's a picture of family and friends with them. Maybe it's from let's say it's from an event where this patient looks dressed up, well-to-do. Possibly they're a businessman, or at least quite rich.
Now Louise is furious.
It's opportunity, yeah. But it's not at the hotel, so it's fine. So I don't eat when I'm out. I have stuff at home.
Oh my god!
Anyway, I'm not there. I'm not there. I'm not there. No, and also,
okay.
nobody likes hospital food. So.
Christ.
Anyway, I'm not there. Continue.
He's gonna walk over, and his whole shtick is blood sorcery. They know that element of things, so they don't deal very much with the spiritual world unless there's that intersection.
Yeah.
They are warded against spirits. Spirits physically cannot touch E. There'll be some overlap just because he is obsessed with the occult.
Yeah, sure.
So can I sort of make a roll, or based on the roll that I already made, know how to summon a spirit to force communion or like encourage communion? Because obviously that thing is vanished now, but he wants to find out what's going on. Because I know there's also I know there's actual vampiric powers that deal with this side of things as well and force this to happen. So I don't want to.
He is. Yeah, he. You would be aware that there are kindred with abilities to summon and force spirits into this plane. In particular, those vampires who are members of the Hakata. Generally, they are of the subclans or bloodlines, whatever you want to call them. They're the Giovanni, or they're the Cappadocians, or the Samadi, whichever flavour of Hakata it is. They're all able to manipulate the barrier between worlds and summon ghosts. But you could, if you had the equipment, as it were, with you, the resources. I think you are knowledgeable enough to cobble together, if you had the time and the resources to cobble together a long-winded ritual to do it. But in doing that, you'd be more relying on what you would call mortal hedge sorcery, as in.
Yeah.
You'd be looking for a place where the barrier between worlds is weakest. Hospitals are generally one of those places.
Many deaths.
You would obviously be doing some bloodletting, because obviously vampiric vitae contains inherent mystical power. But you're gonna have to rely on the convoluted, specific rituals from some book which you wouldn't know off by heart, and you don't have, you don't have a ritual dagger with you. You don't have other equipment, so you could do it, but you just don't have the stuff with you to do it right now. If you were of a particular bloodline or clan, and you had the disciplines basically to do that, that's a different story entirely. But this, you're just like, the most you can do is go, I think, kind of to a certain extent, is like, I think, no, not even heightened senses allows you to do that. You would have to use some other aspect of Auspex to get a sense of the room.
Okay. Well, what I can do then is, it'll take me 5 minutes and a rouse check, but I can create a ward for this man to prevent the spirit.
Sure, if you really want to do that, if you feel that's worthwhile doing that.
I'm curious, and if he's not alive, I can't come back and find out what the fuck is going on.
Okay.
And E's mind is very much this thing has now interested me and engaged me. And unlike the thing that I was meant to be doing, this is my choice.
Yeah.
And that the scale and balance on that is so much.
Yes, you're closing the door to that room then, and you're getting out your knife and drawing some blood and starting to draw runes on the floor.
6 minutes. Time starts now.
I say it takes me 5 minutes to do the ritual, so if in 6 minutes I'm not back, something has gone terribly wrong.
Okay, so we'll get back to that. You can make your roll once we see what the other two are doing. So Zana and Louise, then you head down a flight of steps, and you are clearly now within the basement. There are more pipes. There's the thrumming of mostly some boilers, some sort of furnace. It's much more noisy down here because that's where there's various machines. There's mostly a high-pitched whining going on from some other area that you pass lightly because it's below some powerful kind of like MRI machine or something like that. It gives off it. You can almost sense it again because you're kindred. Your senses are slightly more attuned, and so it's like that noise that only children can hear but adults can't, and it's kind of like that to you. You keep following the right directions. The morgue is signposted, and as you get there, sat outside the morgue is someone that works for security, and they're at a desk, and they're just sat there with a steaming cup of coffee and reading the Sun newspaper like they do. They're slightly a bit overweight for their age. They've got a mustache and they don't like the type of person I'm sure Louise really has time for if they're reading this.
Oh, a stash. Oh, no, you're right.
I'm just saying,
And the
he
Sun
reads the
newspaper.
Sun. You're justified in murdering this person.
Oh.
I should have gone for the Daily Mail. I mean, that would have really
Should've.
pushed it.
Oh, he'd already be
We're going
dead.
for the Daily Mail then. Let's up the ante on it. It's the Daily Mail. Maybe they've got both.
He's got a copy of the Sun he's already read. It's sitting in the waste bin.
Yeah. He's taking out the page 3 girl and it's added to the shrine that he.
Oh no!
Oh, page 3 hasn't been in the Sun for years, fortunately.
We're not in our current timeline.
It hasn't been in there for years before 2018. I can tell you that.
You think?
Yeah, actually,
Yeah, they had a big whole campaign about it.
Yeah.
No more.
So
Thank
yeah,
God.
he's sat there, and as you come through the double doors, and behind him there is another set of double doors that lead into the morgue, and there's an office off on another door, likely with other where they can obviously have talk to people who are about to identify a body, and paperwork and computers and so forth. He looks up. He's clearly tired. Oh, yes. Can I help you?
Yes,
Ms.
you can. Mrs.
Ah.
My name is Louise. We are here to identify a body that came in just tonight, a young woman. I believe her name was Kim, from an illegal rave, I believe. Such a sad case of events.
Yeah, she was brought in about an hour and a half ago or so. Kim Daring, is it?
That's
and
the
what's
one.
your name?
Oh, Louise.
Could you and do you
my-
have some paperwork to say that you've been sent down here to identify the body? I just need you
Paperwork?
to. Yes, you should have some signed leaflet to say that you're here.
Oh, my good man. I believe there must be some mistake. We sent the paperwork ahead of time. We literally are rushing to get this deal.
No one ever tells me anything. Look, I'll have to call the on-duty doctor about this to have them come down here and attend.
And at this point, as much as it loathes me and Louise to do this, I put my tentative sort of very lily white hand on his massive paw. And I'm like, oh, we don't need to do that, do we? Like, it's what paperwork is like and all this admin. Look, we'll be in and out very quickly. Just, it's very important for the police department, and I'd like to use ore if I can.
Yeah. So.
Oh, I'm washing that hand in disinfectant afterwards.
Well, you're going into a room that's
You
filled
are
with it.
so glad that he is not here right now, aren't you? Just so goddamn glad.
I was fully prepared to seduce the man with the mustache just to get you to get past. But I want to see what you do.
Time is money.
So ore is manipulation plus presence. Versus their composure and intelligence. Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let me get this right. So manipulation is 3 dice, and my presence is looking on the thing. Where is presence?
Presence is the actual discipline you're using. So it'd be under discipline.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay, so that's not as great. And then I'm using obviously hunger in this as well, right?
Yeah, any of those dice have to be hunger dice. Yeah.
Yep. So moving those out. Okay, so I'm only rolling 4 dice for this. So, Zana, if you're any good at this, maybe
You need some help?
Well, what would you do?
Yeah,
to
no,
help?
we don't. There's no need for us to bother the irritable police officers that are never fun to talk to. We just need to go in and out. We'll sign the paperwork inside. You won't have to worry about it. And I will also awe this person.
Okay.
And I get to roll 7 dice for it.
Oh wow. There we go.
What? All right, so I'll roll. Oh, straight wash. No successes at all.
Mm.
And I have 4 successes.
Okay. Yeah. So that means
Even though he reads the sun.
you can now obviously on a win. The target resists effects for 1C. No critical win makes the target immune. That's for the target. So for you, you add your presence to any skill roll involving persuasion or performance. So essentially,
Yeah, I would just like to persuade him if that's all right.
Yeah, you can just argue your case that you don't want to bother him or bother anyone else. You've been sent down here, and obviously add your presence to that roll. So I guess that's going to be a manipulation plus persuasion.
Yeah. So.
Or charisma,
Xana
depends which you're better at.
Xana is a smooth talker.
Yeah.
That adding presence to that gives me 10 dice.
Whoa.
Yeah, I think let's just say you could take half on that and we just ignore, because you're just gonna explain how you're gonna do it, because there's no need to roll that many dice for this.
Yeah, so the conversation is one of those, lean up against the side of the desk and convince, like, I'll hang out with him for a little bit and
oh God,
smooth talk his evening while she goes and takes care of things inside, and there's no need to worry to bother other folk who are going to want you to have, like, how many forms you're going to have to sign and how much, and you're going to have to get your supervisor involved because somebody came in. Like, this is a huge hassle, and really we could just hang out and have a cigarette.
Yeah, I do like the idea story-wise. I put my hand on his hand and I do physically flinch, and then Xana just sweeps in.
He's the security guard's not gonna light a cigarette, but he'll accept the cigarette and put it in his top pocket, ready for later on in the evening. You mostly start doing. I can imagine that you're mostly going to converse about some awful story in the Daily Mail about some celebrity doing
we're
something,
talk
and
about
it's awful and they
the
shouldn't do that. It's a travesty. And after you do that for a bit, of course, you're able to follow Louise into the morgue and leave him to it, as he realizes he's going to go have a cigarette. He's going to actually sneak a smoke, mostly in the nearby toilet, so he doesn't have to go all the way outside.
Past the blood ritual.
Yeah. So you go straight into the morgue, and of course the morgue is a cold, sterile chamber.
Yeah.
It's
so
like Louise's bedroom.
Hang on a second.
So yeah.
In that moment between walking away from the security guard and walking into the morgue, I'd like to lean over to Louise and say, by the way, E is doing some crazy summoning spirits thing in that room we passed.
Traitor!
There'll be words later. You just got to focus on the task on hand.
That's what I said.
But I want their room if they don't come out of this.
Fair.
Good. Onwards.
So, the morgue is as you expect. Tiled floor. There are 3 autopsy tables with one of which has a body upon it. You can guess who that is. With a polythene sheet draped over it. It's obviously chilly in there. There are also cabinets lining one of the walls. There are some filing cabinets and a desk or 2 with some tables. There's obviously a well-stocked cabinets filled with various chemicals and equipment, and there's a trolley with a bone saw on it, and various other devices used for opening up bodies.
Steady on.
Oh. Right. Xana, maybe you're a little bit better with the tech and stuff. Maybe you can look at there's been other bodies, haven't there? So maybe see if there's any files, perhaps, matching them.
Yeah, I can check the computer. Cool.
Good. And then I'll go over to...
Wait, they're still using paper?
Oh, it's the NHS. It's terrible. I think... Is that a fax machine? Gosh.
Morgues rely a lot on paper.
Yeah.
True.
Yep. So I'll hit the books while she hits the body.
Excellent. So
Not literally.
You can make intelligence plus investigation rolls as appropriate or intelligent. You can also do intelligence and computing if you want to try and,
I assume Zana's better at it than me, so that's why.
So I have 2 dots in technology. I have 3 dots in medicine.
Oh, okay. So you could use intelligence and medicine to look at any notes and try and interpret what's going on.
All right.
Intelligence investigation. I'm not too bad at. Okay, and then
my 3 dots in medicine are justified by me needing to identify and help people who are ODing or otherwise doing crazy drugs, or like need to hydrate, need to have a good time, like that kind of stuff. But yeah, so 5.
I know I should be there for this, but I honestly cannot roleplay this any better for E.
Okay,
No,
that's
fine.
brilliant. And Fiona, Louise is...
Yes, sorry.
She's just...
I did an intelligence investigation.
Okay, great.
So again, I had the same thing. So critical success on one hunger dice, but then a critical fail on another hunger dice, and nothing else on any of the other dice.
That's just single one success, which is good. Yeah. Okay, so I can give you some information as you're looking through things. So Louise, you're able to have a look at some of the records there that are on the table because someone's done some printouts and just left them there.
Old-fashioned.
And it's clear that there's been a series of similar victims, and
not anymore.
There are in total 4 bodies between this hospital and others in this area of Manchester. One of the victims apparently died on a bus 3 nights ago. Another 2 bodies came in over the last couple of days and were found dead outside their homes. Obviously, you have printed out the information on Kim Daring, listing her as a victim from some illegal rave. Her body is, of course, on the table right now. And that's basically what you've got information-wise on the victims.
Yep.
Then, Zana, you have been looking over Kim Daring's sheet of details that are there on a why can't I, on a
one of those.
One of those. You're looking at her. Why can't I fucking think of it right now? You put
just records.
I put
a chart on a
clipboard.
Charts,
there we go.
Charts,
hell, right? On a clipboard. And
it's fine. There's blood magic happening downstairs.
You're looking over that and reading all the tests they've done, and you're able to put some of it together. And the fact that this reads as some
she had
sort of
syphilis. Interesting.
Well, it's not quite that. You're able to read through that. It's some sort of bloodborne disease. You're able to read some of the traits of it. They don't come to a conclusion of what it is, but you're able to go over to the computer, and while you can't log into the main in through the NHS portal that they would use for staff,
nobody bloody can.
You're able
Not
to.
even NHS people can.
You're able to just. You're able just to do the whole kind of Control Alt Delete, get out of that main thing and just bring up the regular Windows section, get into the regular Windows and open up a browser and just start putting in the details in there and doing a good bit of Googling and interpretation. And the only thing that fits with what you're reading and diving into some more details of it is that this reads like that she was suffering from dengue fever.
Oh, interesting.
Dengue fever?
Yeah. It's dengue. It's not dengue. It's dengue.
Dengue?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dengue fever. Interesting.
The other thing is all the other victims were found in or around Castlefield, which is central Manchester. So Royal Infirmary is relatively close.
Is there any other connections in the sense that are they all... It says student age.
No,
or
they're
are they
not all.
They're all different
all
genders. they're all
different genders and different ages.
parts
Yeah.
of life. Yeah. Okay. So
Meanwhile,
Yes.
we'll go back to E.
So you
have
mentioned
you made your
this-
roll? Have you made
So
your
you
roll
mentioned
for the
this thing about
ritual?
when you're rolling 10 dice, just
Oh no, take half.
sack it and take half. Are you happy for me to do that? 'Cause
No,
I am
not
rolling.
not for this.
Okay. So that's
what's the high pitch size?
7 successes.
Okay.
Whoa.
Nice.
So yeah, E knows exactly what to do to create this ward because they create it every single day and tattoo it onto their person. And nothing on the rouse check, which I already
Brilliant.
did. 'Cause
So
obviously I have to do
you
that to
basically,
make
you know,
sure.
you slit your finger, scribing blood around the in a ritual circle around the bed, and obviously once you complete the ritual, the blood fades away as it is essentially metaphysically imbued into the surroundings. And then I guess you can spend successes into how long it lasts for. I guess is that what it does?
It lasts until triggered.
Oh,
wards.
cool.
It's just warding circles can be made to last for a year and a day, which is why they take longer and
Sure.
have more rouse checks.
Well, that's going to be fun. When Seth's spirit might go to that room again.
Yeah, because they're
They're
about
gonna
to
be
take
pissed.
3 points of aggravated damage. They tried to cross that line.
Okay, so with you having finished that, you head off.
Before I do, I'm just gonna leave just on a piece of paper. Just if you're feeling better,
Yeah.
you should give this number a call. I'd love to discuss why that is, and I will fold it and like leave it underneath the picture of the man looking like, you know, successful and wealthy and much healthier, I imagine.
Great. And you set off towards the morgue.
Yeah.
Obviously, in the time it takes for you to do that and get there, they'll have done their investigation because that takes roughly about 10, 15 minutes of time.
Oh, actually, in which case, I'm there in 5. It takes me literally 5
Yeah, it
minutes
takes you
do
5
this.
to do that, and then another few minutes to get down
Yeah,
there.
you turn up as we're sort of getting.
As you're walking down as you're just about to go into the morgue, past, down that section, as you look back down the corridor you came from, you do hear the sound of quite a few people walking in this direction.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Walking. So I'm sorry. I'm going towards the morgue. They're walking towards me.
They're
Yeah.
walking towards the morgue. Yeah.
So they're behind you then.
They're
behind
you.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. In which case, then I am just going to whip out my phone and text Xana, and just be like,
Yeah.
"Don't want to alarm you, but you really need to get the fuck out." Send.
As if there's signal downstairs.
I don't know if there is or not.
And then I will
Are we on the public
scowl.
Wi-Fi of the hospital? That would be
Of course, but Zana would be, right?
Yeah.
Zana
Of
would be
course,
instantly
yeah.
in.
Zana and E both have points in technology for this exact reason. Their lives are based around the computer.
So
Obviously,
I
you're
was
sending
planning on
this on
taking
your
my cell
on your
phone out and
Nokias.
taking pictures of the records that you told me we found.
You said- yeah.
They're all around this
Yeah,
central
yeah.
part of Manchester. They're all like. I was gonna take a
Castlefield.
picture.
You've got it on
pieces of
document
things.
mode. It's able to take really high resolution
yeah,
pictures.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Perfect.
like Office Lens, get that all PDF
Yeah.
readable.
And so while I'm doing that, do I get a text message that says, "Get the
Yeah, it
fuck
just
out"?
says get the fuck out. So where's E going? Are you not going to go into the morgue? Are you going to head back further down the corridor away from them?
I'm gonna head to the mall because there's nothing more suspicious than you seeing someone in front of you who then suddenly decides to about face
Right.
and walk past you. So I'm gonna keep heading to the morgue, and then I will hopefully bump into my
Yes.
group and can play that from
Yeah.
there, sort of thing.
Great.
Because that makes sense. That's all fine. There's nothing suspect about any of that.
You head through the double doors. You see the desk is still clear, except for the copy of Daily Mail and a cup of coffee that's still warm there. The
He
security guard
reacts to
isn't
the
there.
Daily Mail in the exact same way that they would react to if presented with an actual like crucifix, and just like flinches away from it and looks at the coffee and genuinely considers spilling it onto the thing, and then thinks
Ooh.
better of it, and just like looks to see if those two are out yet.
No, you go. You can try the doors, but obviously they're security locked because the guard would have let
Buzzed
them in. But they can let you in, obviously, if you rap on the door because it's that type of door.
Well, so if I get a text that says "get the fuck out," then I'm gonna look over to Louise and be like, "We gotta go in a hurry."
Fine.
And then we'll head for the exit. I'm gonna head for the exit at the same time, so hopefully we'll like bang into each other at the door.
Wait, what's? I guess if we open up the door, so what's the problem? What's wrong?
You want to be looking as if we're going now. Okay, stop crying.
We've not finished here.
You
We
can all make.
He will
make a wits plus composure roll.
Yeah.
He will literally hammer the hand wash, and then literally rub underneath their eyes to begin, because obviously they're not human, but their eyes will still water if things get in there, to make it look as if they have been crying.
Oh my god.
Make a wits plus composure roll.
Louise just looks aghast at this. Wits plus composure. Okay. Five
dice.
successes.
Okay, Louise, you hear a distinct, a recognizable voice outside the double doors that lead back out
One
into the main
success.
corridor. It's the security guard who's like, "Oh, I didn't know you were coming down here. I was just heading back to my position now. Can I help you, officers?"
I will look to the others and I'll be like, look to presumably the lockers behind us. Yeah, no, Zana's
Tell
already
me
disappeared.
You did not use the police's name to get in there.
I said we were with the police.
Oh, fuck me sideways, Louise.
I see one of the various lockers and I'm just like, shall we?
Are you fucking daft? Come on, we'll go out the back. That's ridiculous. Go into a locker.
Is there a back to this morgue?
There'll be a way out through the back because there'll be a way in through the back. It won't be easy. It'll be easier to hide in there for us though than it will be in lockers.
Fine. I'll speak to the space where Zana was, and I'm like, just let us know what goes on.
Zana's obviously stood still and somewhere in
Zana,
the corner of that room
different.
and
You
going
guys
gonna
hear
go to
us,
the
Zana?
corner where
Zana,
they're
if you
like
can-
he's not gonna get bumped into, and he's
Yeah.
gonna stand very, very still behind a lamp
And
fixture or something.
that's just
obfuscate.
automatic, isn't it? You just don't have to roll for anything, do you?
Let me double check.
I can't.
Zana,
I love that.
If you can hear us, you're not going to want to stand there because you'll be stood there until he finishes his shift. Come on. And he will like stick a foot in the door before it can shut and just like book it. Because
Well, no, wait, because that door, that's where the security guard is, right? I thought you meant there was like another
other door, the door into the
You're
morgue.
going back
to try
into the
and-
morgue.
Basically,
Yes.
to go into the morgue and out the other side.
Oh, I assumed
Because
it was still in the morgue that you've come in.
No,
So-
I'd sort of like you guys to come out. That's why
Yeah.
Oh no, I'd say.
So Zana just needs to
Yeah,
find somewhere to
it's free.
stand perfectly still and will basically be undetected by anyone.
Unless they come in here with like an officer chest camera, and I show up on records later, that would suck.
Yeah. Just Zana's
What
like,
It's like that bit in I can't remember the cave diving horror film. I can't remember
What,
what
the
it's called now.
descent?
deep.
Yeah,
below,
the descent, just behind someone, like. Anyway, all right, yeah. If we look for an alternate exit out of the morgue, that's not the way we came in. If there is one.
There is.
If there isn't,
There
Louise
isn't
chooses
for
the locker
this
option.
room. No, the alternate. There are two different ways that come along the main corridor that then lead into here. But
Right,
this
yeah,
is-
that's why I assume. Yeah, I assume there's one door in, just to stop any cross contamination and stuff like that. That's what I assume.
Exactly.
Okay. Louise will then go. I don't see another exit. Good job,
There
Ian.
are
Well,
cabinets that you could hide in.
All right, then Louise, Tell you what, you can hide in the actual locker, and I'll hide in the goddamn drawer.
Good. Thank you.
Don't pretend to be dead.
Yes.
It's easy for me to pretend to be dead. The blush of life is not something that I have to worry about, and we don't breathe.
Yeah, so I will hide in a cabinet.
So you're
as graceful as one
just
can.
going to basically slide yourselves into cabinets and just
the door the door doesn't have to be shut. We just have to be underneath sheets.
Yep.
Okay, let's be crystal clear here because I'm a little confused.
Yeah.
There are drawers that you put bodies on in a morgue, right?
Yeah.
Is that where you are hiding?
Yes.
Okay.
That's exactly.
I thought that was obvious.
Watching this, try not to laugh.
Yeah.
Okay. Good.
If anything, I'll get E to pull my one out, and I'll just get on, and I'll do like a like proper, like almost like making the bed.
Yeah.
You do that, and you wait there, and Zana is stood still, possibly crouched down, trying to be as small as possible, behind something as well, just being deadly quiet.
Yep.
You wait there, and it feels like the longest minute or two before the double doors open. You hear the swipe card and a beep, and then you hear 6 people walk in. You hear the rustle of paper and the polythene sheet being moved. And Zana, you witness, obviously, all of this. There are 4 police officers and 2 others, a male and a female, dressed or outwardly appearing so, dressed in suits. The officer in charge points at the body and then turns to him. Mr. Monroe, Ms. Penn, this is the body, this Kim Daring. The chart is and looks for the chart, and it's mostly on the table where Zana left it. There. I'm sorry, but I can't have my officers here all the time. We have other things to deal with. We see no reason for any reason of suspicion in this case. It just seems to be some sort of possibly some virus. Maybe it's related to drugs. We're investigating that. I'm sure the Department of Health and Social Care will have some opinion on this. It might be related to, as you say, to some infection that's been brought in by. We have many people that come into some of these slums. We deal with illegal immigrants all the time, or it's something like that, I'm sure. If you don't mind, we'll leave you to it. My officers will be 2 of my officers, if you require me, will be outside. We're going to go back up. He already hears over the radio. I'm already hearing there's already a fight breaking out in A&E. I'm going to go deal with that. If I can just leave you with this. The two members of the Department of Health and Social Care just nod and wait for the police officers to leave. They look at the body and they take the time, keeping their distance from it, picking up an implement or something, a tool off the tray, inspecting it, using a gloved hand to open the mouth, checking around. And Zana, you can see they're checking whether there's even fangs on this body.
Interesting. Who are these people?
Apparently members of the Department for Health and Social Care.
Oh, yes.
And then Miss Monroe's sits down, and Miss Penn, who is, maybe about 5'6" compared to his 6 foot tallness, she looks at the chart as well. So, Agent Monroe, it seems from my quick examination, she's the most recent victim, correct? He nods. Well, it seems like, I guess we can conclude that our experiment here is accelerating in rate. We were hoping that carriers would not succumb so quickly, It's annoying. We were hoping, obviously, if you want a virus to spread throughout a hemovore population, you don't want it to kill hosts so quickly. So I think we can conclude at this point that the virus needs some further refinement. It's ill-suited for long-term use. Obviously, we should keep an eye out for where these victims were and if they've passed it on to other similar other hemovore population here. What do you think? He looks at the notes and looks up at her. Well, this is why I brought you in. I'm no biochemist or virologist. I'm merely interested in how efficient this is in our work. We should obviously, if you can ascertain the rate of acceleration of the spread of the virus and how quickly it's killing the victims, we'll collate that data for modelling and we can send it through to GCHQ, and we'll be able to perhaps come up with an idea of how quickly the next version of this will spread and affect the kindred population. The hemovore population. We must note, of course. Well, I don't know how this looks for optics, but I personally have no problem with how it's affecting people. Collateral damage. I mean, if we have to accept that some hosts, some carriers, generally they're going to be within a particular demographic.
Chris.
All right, I got so many problems with this, Chris.
Yeah, Chris. When this person began talking specifically about hemovores, could I have begun recording on my phone?
Oh yeah, you can.
I was gonna ask if someone was going to do that.
Oh yeah, you
because
can just quickly go like
the moment this became this virus is like, what do you mean they know about the virus? Click record.
Yeah.
Especially GCHQ, because that's like that means an
They
organization.
happily continue this. Well, they get up and he's like, well, if it he trails off and he's like, well, if it affects the typical demographic that we see hemovores targeting, I personally don't have any problem with that. They kind of finish that conversation as they walk out the double doors.
Okay, so before I have so Xana is about helping refugees and about making safe spaces for people, and these folks apparently don't give two shits about the people that they're infecting.
No.
And they also made comments about fucking immigrants and that sort of thing. And so I kind of feel like Xana is standing in the corner being just fuming. Mm-hmm. trying to decide if I need to make a beast roll or something.
I think you will need to. The beast will mostly in you be seeing this as a wonderful opportunity to breach the kind of cage that you keep it in as your mental kind of state is in flux.
Yeah. So what kind of role would that be?
I think it's going to be the equivalent of a anger based frenzy roll. So I think you're really going to need to make a
composure
resolve sounds about right. Yeah.
All right, so that's a whopping 4 dice.
To be fair, he's having a similar thing because he's all about keeping women safe and stuff like that. So I
think it's because Xana's in the room and Louise is in the locker going, oh no. Fuck.
I have 3 successes.
That's
very
definitely
good.
enough because it's not.
Good job.
You would need 4 if it was someone you cared about that you personally know. This is basically, an affront to everything you believe in. So it's not a personal provocation. It's just a provocation in general.
Conviction provocation.
You are definitely and they leave, and you're able kind of to almost at the same time you relax, but then also able to express mostly any profanity you wish to express.
Shh. Xana.
I mean, he's gonna swear. He swears in foreign languages.
Xana, I can hear you swearing, darling. Where are you?
So he starts swearing in Iranian as he goes over to the body.
Oh, there you are.
And
Have any
I'm
of you
going
got
to.
heightened senses?
Yeah.
Don't think so.
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
I could have. I took Eyes of the Beast instead of heightened senses.
The one thing Zana definitely hears as they leave as well is mention that there is a someone that's actually in A&E currently experiencing symptoms
Okay.
and is
So
alive.
I was planning on continuing to swear and taking a blood sample from the body, if that's possible.
Yeah, you can take a blood sample. Yeah, there's equipment
Great.
to do that.
Yeah, there's everything should be here. So
Let's
I'll take
also
a blood
remember
sample.
that E is currently infected with this.
What?
I'm aware. Thank you, Chris.
From last session, remember?
Oh, yeah.
I had
To be
no
fair-
idea.
To be fair, I also affected with it. Certainly potentially at the moment.
Oh man. Yeah,
Okay.
I will not be let out of my locker.
So what do you want to
No,
do?
if you locked yourself in, somebody's gonna have to tell me.
Or
Like,
actually,
No,
I think-
no,
I'll come to my
I-
senses and be like, wait a second, I have friends. Where the hell are they?
Well, I couldn't have locked myself. I could have locked Louise's, but I couldn't have locked myself.
you would have just
So
like
I do
pulled
like
it
the idea.
out.
I do
No,
like the idea
I'll-
you did lock me in.
Yeah, I'll have left my door open, so with my feet pointed, so I could have potentially recorded things or anything like that I might have needed to. But also so that if I needed to actually get out, it would have been fast for me to get out and go at people. But I'll get out and just walk over to Zana and just go, come on.
Blood. No. We do the hugging after I kill them.
Did you see their faces?
I did.
Excellent. We can kill them. That's fine. But before we kill them, I want to know exactly what I put in my fucking mouth.
Well, here's a sample from the body, and there's somebody in the
Golden.
A&E that is experiencing symptoms. So if we hurry, we can get to them too.
You fucking what?
Hello.
Oh shit! All right.
And
I say.
think we can leave it at that point for a break because we are at the halfway point, and we will be
Nice.
back with you in 10, 15 minutes. We'll say 15 minutes. So
Fucking
15
we'll see you in a
minutes.
bit.
Okay.
Huh?
So bye for now. And we're back. Right, we had just left it as Louise was being pulled out of a cabinet in the morgue.
Hello. Right.
I don't remember actually locking that door, but I'm not sorry I did.
Words later, words later. You look. Let's What was you saying, Zana? There was somebody else in A&E.
Yeah, there's somebody that I heard the goons talking about how there was somebody in A&E that had symptoms.
Well,
They weren't goons. They were important people. They were talking about like high-end stuff.
regardless, we need to go and get that person now. If we can get them away from this place, somewhere, maybe meet with Mr. Dalgleish.
Well, Dog, I've got that recording for Dog, so I'll whack that over to them right now, and they can lose their shit at that too.
But this is an actual live case. We should take as much as we can. We don't want this spreading even more.
Yeah, they're gonna collect that person because that person is.
Well, not if we get there first.
They were with the police, Louise.
Oh, so are we technically. I am the law, etc. Look, let's go.
Wait, she's seen Judge Dredd. Who showed Louise Judge Dredd?
I've read a book or two.
That's a comic, Louise.
I think you'll find they're called graphic novels. Anyway. Right. Yeah, and unless anyone else has anything else, we're going to go to A&E. Yeah.
I guess you had, because you're now within the other side, as it were, of the hospital, as in the working part. You can actually get to A&E via all the non-public spaces, so you can come in, as it were, through the back of it. So you head in the right direction, obviously, again, looking like you're meant to be going in the right place, that you actually belong there, making sure you're not running into people and that look like certain well-dressed agents of some public health department or worse.
Xana, just whilst we're going there, give me their descriptions, like tell me what they look like, and I'm going to begin drawing their faces.
Sure. Yeah. Relay what I saw.
Yeah, exactly.
Man and woman. One of them was 6 foot something. The other one was, Mulder and Scully, basically.
Basically, yeah. And you head towards, as you get towards A&E, it becomes much busier because there are various nurses, doctors working in the back who are obviously sending things away to be tested, or they're arranging for someone to be taken to have their x-ray, or you can hear the groans of people beyond certain doors as they're in triage being assessed. You can hear angry ranting and swearing because obviously someone wants to, they're still having an argument even though someone is like half dead. There's still an argument going on between some couple or some friends or whatever's going on. And because there's this mess of chaos, basically organized chaos, I guess it is, going on, you're able to, I guess, walk into that area fairly easily, but you need to work out which of the cubicles, but it's not quite cubicle, but of triage to find this ghoul this person.
Is there a triage nurse station?
There will be, yes.
Yeah, I will pull off my jacket, grab a white bag, like the sort of ones that you use for like clothes and stuff like that. For like people to store their clothes and stuff in when they get changed. Grab one of those, stuff it in there, and go. Louise, have you got a purse or anything on you?
I hold up the tiniest purse you've ever seen. Like a clutch, essentially.
Perfect. Just pass it here, would you?
It's very careful, though. I've had that for such a... He just takes it.
Thank you, Louise. and I'll walk over to the triage nurse station, and E in the thickest Glaswegian accent that they can do.
Glaswegian accent.
E is Glaswegian. That's where they're from. Their accent has mellowed because I can't do a Glaswegian accent, being from Edinburgh. But in the thickest Glaswegian accent, we'll walk over to the triage station and just begin asking for their friend who got bit. Their friend got bit. Where's my friend? I've got their purse here, and I need to find them because I've got their purse and I've got their stuff. And
the nurse who's there is just like confused. Bit? No one's been bit.
I got told they got bit. Like
no one's been bit. What, by a dog? No one's been bit by a dog.
No, by
a person. No one's been bit by a person. Look, no one's been bitten by a person on this list. There's who are you looking for? They obviously look very tired and they sip from a styrofoam cup of some obviously bit lukewarm tea.
No one's been bitten.
Said infected, not bitten.
Yes.
Well, yeah, but we know that it's transferred via.
No, but their hosts, the hosts get infected, and then once they're bitten, there's a chemical reaction. Is that not what the case is?
They're trying.
I thought that this person would have been bitten by a vampire and survived the bite, and then be a carrier. I may have misunderstood.
No, the feds have introduced something to someone and are trying to get us to bite them.
Yeah.
So you're looking for somebody who's reacting like a needle exchange or something.
Oh, that's on me. I totally misunderstood that.
No, it's fair. I think it's a fair assumption to make, but actually, if there's not like somebody there, we need to look through every single thing. So.
All right. I'll just. I was told they were a bit like they'd been at a party and look, I'll be honest with you, they're a junkie, right? They I don't know. I was told they've been bitten by someone, but if they're not being bitten, they've been treated for that. And maybe being treated for needle stuff. Look, I don't. They might not have given their name. Is what I'm worried about. You know how they can be. You don't want the police involved. I just want to give them their stuff so they can get out of here when they're safe.
The nurse just doesn't have time for this. Look, you're gonna have to. I need a name or something to identify them, or else you're gonna have to leave. And then they hear screaming of someone in pain, and they walk off to go deal with that person.
The moment that they walk off, I will lean over and look at the active patients chart.
Yeah. Best idea.
And because there's usually one on the wall, but then there's one that correlates to the wall to find anyone that's showing signs of fever, sickness, dengue fever if they've done the blood tests already, which I doubt. But...
Yeah, and you're able to look at that list, and there's really only one person that seems to kind of fit kind of an illness that's yet to be identified.
Ooh.
There we go. Where are they?
They're in Bay 6.
Yeah. And I just flash 6 at those two, and I will stay there just for a little bit more, just to kick up a little bit of a fuss.
As a distraction.
If they come back, and if they don't come back whilst those two are moving, I will just go to Bay 6 behind them, sort of thing.
Okay. Well, those of you who are heading over to see this person, you obviously work your way in and slip past the curtain that's been drawn across, and within you find lying, sweltering, looking quite pale and exhausted, is a young man who's dressed typical for their age. It's modern attire, so they don't seem to stand out in any particular way, except for what's really odd is they look kind of slightly emaciated, and their hair is falling out. He looks up. And
Have
he's
they
like,
already been IV'd?
They're being turned.
there is an IV in their arm which is delivering fluids to them. And they look up. I'm sorry, I can't. I don't please, no more needles. Who
Okay.
are you? Who are you?
I want to look around and see because I've got the medicine 3, so I'm looking for if they've already done blood draws or they've already done things, and if they've left his samples or not.
Okay.
So,
There's no. I mean, you don't really need to roll for that. So you can definitely see they've clearly drawn blood from him, and but they've not left the samples there. They've been taken
No,
off
they've
already.
taken it.
okay. So I'm gonna look at Luis and sort of whisper, "You take care of him," and I want to look at his chart and see whatever his patient identifiers are.
Yeah. You've got his first name. His name is Ben. We're gonna go with Ben. And
I'll just snap a picture on the phone.
Yeah.
Like,
Good idea. Yeah.
and then I want to go and find where samples are taken. So I'm gonna like duck out and try to get to the samples.
you've got you haven't got. He doesn't have a registered address. And that's basically all the information they've got on him. Other than that, he was found passed out on a street in Fallowfield, which is south of where you are right now.
I will sort of go and sit down in one of those terrible orange plastic chairs and scoot over. And I'll be like, hello, Mr. Ben. My name is Louise. Can you tell us how you came to be here? How was your night going? I'd like to use mesmerize
Wow,
to try and sort of get just because I'm aware we're on a clock.
On a clock,
essentially. Yeah. So that's a rouse check first.
Yeah.
Page 256 if you need it.
Okay, good.
Sorry, because again I can't remember what rousing does. What do I have to do? For
you
that?
just roll
Your hunger.
a hunger. Well, no, you just roll one. You just roll 1d10.
Okay.
Or one of the regular dice, and on a if it's as long as you roll a success, you're fine.
All right. I have not rolled a success.
So your hunger goes up by 1.
All right. Good to know.
Isn't it 2 dice for rouse and you take the highest?
No, it's 1 unless you've got something that changes that. Let me just check. It depends.
That's
it really
fine.
depends.
That's fine. I'll just get the rest of it. So that is dice pools, manipulation versus and dominance. So I'll just get that ready. Manipulation.
There are things that can modify rouse checks. You see.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Great. So that would be 5 dice with now 4 hunger dice in there.
Ooh, that's no good.
We burned down a bookshop. I ate an entire A&E ward. That's what's happening.
I just got Being Humans scene with the train car.
Mm-hmm.
All I've got in my head right now.
Exactly.
I need to watch the rest of that show.
Okay, so you've activated the ability.
Yep. Yeah, failed it, so my hunger goes up to 4.
What was it? Manipulation. It's normally manipulation and dominate versus their intelligence and resolve.
Intelligence rolled. Yep, that's right.
Okay, so I need to roll that.
It's my blood potency that's doing it.
So they've got 2 successes.
I have 2 successes and a crit fail on one of the hunger dice. So I think that's just 2
two
and 2.
successes. So you.
Yeah.
So it's a draw, but then it's no roll is required against an unprepared mortal victim. So
Oh, yeah,
I
no.
don't think they need
Hello.
to. So you're fine actually.
No one's prepared for Louise to sit down and talk
No.
to them. Let's face it.
Mesmerize is generally a problem if you're issuing commands to someone if it's like in the heat of battle kind of situation.
Oh,
in which
yeah,
case they
yeah.
will resist actively.
Of course, yeah. No, in this case, I just want to basically, yeah, just like, can you tell us what happened to you tonight, if you can remember at all? Just any detail, anything.
I came out of out of the apartment. I just felt so ill. And then I was heading to the corner shop. I bought like something to eat, and I was heading down down to the park, and I was finding someone. Yeah, because I normally try and find someone. I try and find someone for Jocelyn, and then I just passed out, and then I woke up here.
Jocelyn, who's Jocelyn?
Jocelyn, she's my she's my master.
I see indeed. And how long have you been feeling ill all this time, Mr. Ben?
It's got worse over the last couple of days.
Can you remember when you first started feeling ill?
Maybe 3 or 4 days ago.
And tell me, Mr. Ben, has Ms. Jocelyn, or have you and her had any relations in between those times?
What do you mean by that? I mean, she
He's under dominate. You just get to ask. He's under dominate.
She goes out, of course, and she feeds, and I feed from her.
There we go.
Okay. Does Jocelyn know you're here?
No, I haven't seen her actually for at least 2 nights.
Did she say where she was heading out at all?
No.
It's very important you tell me the truth here.
I haven't seen her.
Okay.
Remember, of course, you realise you are dealing with here because you can see they're blinking, they're breathing. They are human. They're clearly a ghoul.
Yeah.
The person we saw on the train stop, that was a male presenting person, wasn't it?
Yes.
That Zana saw, yeah.
Yeah.
The Zana. Well, we all saw them, but Zana stayed around
to see them. Yeah.
To see them again. That was a male presenting person, so probably not Jocelyn. So we've got potentially 2 people now that
have been infected.
Could be infected within the kindred.
Mr. Ben, are you able to walk just now? Are you able to come with us?
If I get up, I can barely stand. I don't know what.
I'm sure we can find.
If I stood up, I'm sure I'd just pass out again.
That's fine. Well, I'm sure. Maybe if you could find some sort of ambulatory.
Yeah. I'll get a wheelchair. Here, and I'll hand Ben my coat. Put this on, all right. And if anyone asks, you're checking yourself out, okay? Because you have left someone at home and you need to go check on them, and you weren't expecting it to take this long, all right?
He just nods.
Good lad. And I'll go find one of the large like red wheelchairs they have that are
horrific wheelchairs, yeah.
Horrific. And I will just straight up bundle him into it with Louisa's help. And I'll send Zana a message just going, abort on finding the Bloods. It's a ghoul. We need to get them out and get them to dog. Send.
Right. As you wheel Ben out, heading towards the exit, and Zana's mostly, headed off looking around for where they keep the cabinet where they keep blood samples ready to be sent off for analysis. Everyone can make a wits plus composure roll.
Oh, I'm always composed.
Noting that obviously if you have any hunger dice, your hunger is increased.
Oh no, I know. This is terrifying.
What is this? Wits plus composure?
Yeah. The classic perception roll.
2 successes.
Yeah, 5 successes.
2 successes.
Brilliant. Okay, and there's no hunger criticals or anything.
Nope.
No.
Nope. Good. Okay.
No.
As you're doing this, Louise definitely notices from at the other end of A&E, you see particular figures dressed very much like as described by by Zana to E, who look very official, and a nurse points in the direction of where you just wheeled out Ben.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
Time to make a move.
So you're gonna have to sneak. You're gonna have to sneak out by being calm and collected, or you could try and make a distraction.
So you know what I've just realised? I too have Cloak of Shadows, so I didn't have to go in the locker.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
I think Louise is just so old. I thought, oh yeah, I can do that. Anyway, never mind. I was like,
so
I wonder what
funny.
this does.
That's so ridiculous. They would have just opened up. They could have opened up that cabinet and just went, "There's nothing here to see."
Oh my god, that would have been amazing. I was like, oh no. Wait, what? Oh, of course. Anyway, I'll remember that for next time.
That's so funny.
Next time I think, unless E has something, I think we should just very confidently, but shortly, just walk.
I mean, if one of us on either side of the actual handlebars will hide Ben, and then it's just 2 people walking away from them, is my current
Did I also see that these guys are coming in the right direction?
Seen them as well, yeah.
Cool. I'm gonna grab some random heart monitor and yank it out of the wall and run.
That's a good idea.
Distraction. It's gonna set off all kinds of alarms.
The cardiac.
Yeah, it does start a lot of chaos as you walk away nonchalantly, and
cool.
You all walk out into the main, out through the doors, into the foyer, and out through the automatic doors back to the car park. Mostly having along the way message to make sure Cisco's there, ready for you to hop in and get out of there.
As Cisco sort of pulls up and to get to us, I'm going to lean in and go, does Dog have anyone in there who works in security or can get you those tapes?
He just like frowns a bit, like, I'd have to ask around. I'm sure someone's got some access.
Right, you're looking for these 2 people, and I'll pull off the pictures. You want to know everything about them because they are trying to wipe us out, and they know about us.
Right. So what are we doing? Are we going back
straight
to Dog now?
To Dog? He needs to talk to Ben here.
Okay. You drive off as you look behind out of the rear window, you see the 2 figures stood outside looking around, wondering where Ben has gone.
Sheet of rain.
Sheet of rain, and just, the look of perhaps frustration on their faces as they recede into the distance. And Cisco keeps driving until you hit, heading south until you hit Rusholme, and drives off the main Curry Mile a little bit until you are outside a kebab shop called Kebabalon. There is a flickering day glow, luminous lights. There are people outside, obviously eating kebabs and chips out of styrofoam containers and having arguments. It stinks to high heaven as you get out the door, and Cisco directs you to head round the back, obviously wheeling Ben with you. As you head round the back, there's Cisco kind of raps on a cellar door that then creaks open, and you take Ben out of the wheelchair, and Cisco helps carry him down into the basement of this kebab shop. And of course, down there is the humming of multiple freezers, and there is racks of of meat that's kept in them. It doesn't look as sanitary as you expect, but like you really care. When was the last time any of you had a kebab?
Never.
Never.
We just look at Xana, who eats.
Yeah, Zana's probably already got one coming in.
Yeah, exactly. I had to stop for one on the way.
Sat down there on one of the chest freezers, just sat there with other members of his coterie, mostly discussing some sort of business that they were planning. I don't know. They clearly use this kebab shop as one of their places to, I guess, organize things from, because it's very low key. It's not some plush apartment
Connections.
or anything.
No one suspects
Free
a
food.
kebab shop.
No. And he looks up and he kind of like, he's obviously been out in the rain and it's only just arrived, and he kind of wipes away the sheen of rainwater from his bald head, and looks up and he's just like, "You're back already. So
Don't eat that."
what, you point at Ben?
Yeah.
What's his name? I've seen him.
He belongs to Jocelyn.
Jocelyn's little lackey. Yeah, I haven't seen her for weeks now. She
How important is Jocelyn?
she's she plays at being a bit of a streetwalker type. She's very good at hunting the streets. She's pretty good at seducing well-to-do la-di-da types who obviously like to do a bit of curb crawling for their kicks. Quite good when you need to get some juicy gossip on people. Yeah.
Right. Okay. I take it you haven't listened to your voice memos yet.
Not had a chance, and
Are they trustworthy? And I point to the other members of his coterie.
yeah, I can vouch for them all. They're all mine.
Right. I will play the recording.
And listens back to everything. What the fuck is going on?
So I think we might be at a stage that no one ever thought was ever going to come, where we might need to talk to the Camarilla too.
Yeah. This. See, I heard shit went down in London, like a few years back. And obviously, it seems like whatever organisations have joined together or doing whatever they're doing, hunting us, clearly move some of their operation up here.
It's worse than that.
What's worse?
If it can infect ghouls and infect kindred, but not kill us, but kill the people we feed on, this thing will starve us. And worse, it could wipe us out.
Mm-hmm.
This is a way that they never have to find a haven again.
Exactly.
Because if we can't feed, and there's something else as well. I don't know, but I might be infected.
You fucking what?
So I have...
You saying you're infected?
No, that's not what I'm saying, dog. I'm saying I might be.
Might be may as well be treated as you are. At which point, I don't know why I'm allowing you to walk around.
Who else in this city do you know that knows half as much about blood sorcery as I do?
I can name quite a few other Tremere.
Half as much as I do, dog.
Look, as much as you may be all very good at this kind of Wizardora kind of shite, I don't give a fuck. You are a threat right now to me and everyone else in this room.
Hang on. I don't think I am. Because one, I told you about it. Two, currently you've only got a ghoul who looks like they are about to kick the fucking bucket. And me, who might be walking around infected as a source for this thing to work out what's going on. And Sea Dog, I don't know I'm infected. There's just a chance. And we need to find out what that is about. All right?
Okay.
Think it through,
okay.
Dog.
Well then let's put this all together, right?
Yep.
So Ben here and his master, you know, Jocelyn, right? She's infected.
She's infected for certain. No, the only way he could have got it is from her.
Yeah.
Jocelyn's infected.
So,
unless the feds gave it to him.
Here is my suggestion for you. If Jocelyn's infected, and she definitely more than likely is, and if this virus is proceeding too quickly, which is a good thing, it's going to burn itself out if we can stop fucking vampires who are infected biting people, then my suggestion for you is the following. You at this point have little to lose by going to Jocelyn because you likely potentially could already be infected. So
I'm
think
sorry.
if
you say I have nothing to lose?
In my books, no. If you potentially are infected and you're not, then fine. If you face her and you end up being infected, well, what does that change if you were infected already?
Dog, I've done more than the job you asked from me already. You owe me.
And now you just say to me, I might be infected. I can't, by all rights, I should not be allowing you to walk around with your head on your shoulders. And if that's my opinion, imagine what the Camarilla are going to do if they find out this.
They're going to have to find out this. We need to know what this thing is.
No, if they find out you're potentially infected, they will take that as a message that not just you, but others amongst the anarch population are infected. And that gives them legitimacy to take charge of not just wiping out this problem, but also in charge of the city. Because clearly, as anarchs, we can't be trusted with both the Masquerade or anything.
They need us right now because
they
they do not have the numbers to fight this thing.
They may not have the
feds
numbers.
talked about how they're targeting streetwalkers. They're targeting lower class people. They're targeting immigrants to get this. So any Camarilla that feeds on that population is also probably infected. This is a problem for all of us.
This is not about
They won't see it that way. They won't see it that way. Look,
they will if they're sick.
Look, I think we're all agreed just now that our priority is to find Jocelyn. She seems to be, or appears to be, the number one, let's say, super spreader currently. There's
at least one other.
Well,
we need to find out if she is the original target of this, or if there's someone else.
As if we look at it, we found the information that one had died on the bus and two outside their homes. Again, maybe around similar area of Castlefield. Now, I don't know if that is Jocelyn's haunting grounds, but if it is, then that's a good chance she will strike there again.
Well, that doesn't make sense. Her haven, as far, or at least where her territory's like Fallowfield area.
Fallowfield. So maybe you're right, Ian. Maybe this is the second or third person.
There's at least 2 or 3 then.
Which means then what? She's fed upon someone that's already been fed upon by the original infected.
I think the feds are distributing it.
I agree with Zana. They're targeting ghouls. Well-known ghouls, I think.
And whether it's in the water or it's a shawarma shop that's serving infected shawarma, I don't know. But however they're getting it into people.
We all look up at kebab.
Yeah. You began feeling sick a week ago, yeah?
He
This is to
nods.
When
weakly.
did you feed on Jocelyn a week ago and then start feeling sick? Or did Jocelyn feed on you a week ago?
No, I fed upon her because...
Okay. So it's come from Jocelyn, which means Jocelyn drank from someone else that's infected.
Mhm.
Now, that could be either the human population or something else.
Mhm.
So either she fed on someone or she was targeted somehow.
Mhm.
But we also know that someone was infected at that party because they drank on that poor girl.
And there was no other evidence of another vampire being there. There wasn't like, I don't know, someone had turned to ash by drinking on that person or anything like that. Or she just died.
Yeah, there was nothing else,
We-
no other evidence there.
We need to find out whether or not she passed it on to someone or someone passed this on to her.
We need to find her.
Hey, dog, you know any hematologists?
He kind of looks around and points out the fact he's in the basement of a kebab shop.
Dog.
Very-
Yeah, sure, I know people that work in all the departments of the university.
Dog. You need to find someone who can find out where those two, and I'll point to Cassius, who's got the pictures, where they came from, how they got to the hospital, and how they're leaving it, because they're still there right now, but presumably they've gone by now.
So these two are what? These are
These are the people talking in the thing. These are the
Mr. Moreau,
hunters.
Miss Penn.
they're the
yes.
hunters, right?
Mhm.
If we can trace them, we can find out where this is coming from. They have to have a cure for this in case it jumps the species barrier. They have to have a cure for it.
Well, from what you were saying, it sounds like they don't actually give us two shits if it did.
They don't care whilst it's targeting the right people, but people like this care when it starts to target the wrong people.
Mm.
And if they are smart enough to work out how to infect us, because there should be nothing on Earth that can infect us, they're smart enough to work out a safety so that they're protected themselves.
Look,
I think maybe-
You need.
we're gonna go
arrange a
talk to the
sit
right
down.
people. Looks like I'm gonna have to set up a meeting with the right people.
Mr. Dow-
As I do that, you're gonna go find Jocelyn. I have a hunch of where her haven is, and I need you to either A, find out what you can offer, or B, how can I say?
We're not killers, dog. We're not. Look at us.
But if
You know how
have
we
to,
survive.
if you have to kill her, you're
Well-
allowed to.
Okay. Like,
He waves over one of his coterie members who digs out from a bag that they have with them. It's got various things in there. There's a baseball bat in there, and he kind of looks around and is like, and he's like, and he pulls out a machete. If you have to, take her fucking head off.
My purse won't carry that. So
So we're doing the job of vampire hunters now.
No,
This is exactly what
you're
they want.
doing the job of protecting the anarchs, because if we can make sure she's dead and not infecting others, and we can stop this before it gets any further, before it gets any bigger, then we stop the Camarilla knowing anything about this.
They
Agreed.
are already needing to know, dog.
They
This
don't
is
need
not-
to know
that-
shit at this point.
This is not about Camarilla and Anarchs. This is about kindred. I hate the Camarilla more than anyone in this city. You know that. You know that. But they need to know because they are as likely to be getting infected and spreading it. This is how you handle shit like this. You make everyone aware so
This
they
is
can be
how
safe.
you make yourself look weak. The Camarilla for years have been looking for a way to prove they can take charge and manage things.
All right then, dog. Counter suggestion.
What, we sit around and sing Kumbaya?
No, we find the Camarilla that are already infected.
And we're meant to be finding them how right now? If they're infected, then there would be more people infected that we'd be hearing about. From what it sounds like, there aren't that many infected right now. Things are at the cusp of ready to spiral out of control.
Jocelyn has had 2 days. Uninterrupted 2 days.
That's assuming she's feeding every night.
It drives you to starvation. So you have to feed.
Look, E. And I sort of said, look, I know, but I agree with Mr. Dalgleish on this one. I have a property to look after. I have to do this. We have to find him. It's out of our hands.
Fuck all y'all. This is so wrong.
I'm totally on Team E here. Like, this is like,
this will kill us all.
I'm sure.
This is...
Let's find Jocelyn. We are wasting time. If we can make an indent somewhere, then that is all I care about just now. Mr. Dalgleish, do you have any contacts in the transport industry at all? There was someone who died on a bus. Maybe we can get CCTV footage.
There's some people that make use of that.
If we can find and make connections, maybe we can find links to this other person who may or may not be a part of the Camarilla as well. But the only lead we have just now is Jocelyn, and we know where her apartment is, and we know where she is in Fallowfield. It's got the area. That is the biggest lead we have. It's the biggest thing we can do just now.
Well, I don't think it's quite an apartment, that address I've just given you. You'll see when you get to it.
Ben, have you got a key for whatever security she's got?
He pulls out of a pocket a mortise lock key. It's for the back door. You'll understand when you see it.
Any security detail we need to know about?
No, she's
Ben?
not. She's not. At which point he passes out, slumping in the chair that he's been put in.
You need to keep him alive.
Yes, that I agree upon.
He's got this, but he's got all the information. The only way that this thing can pass is by blood and saliva,
which is
saliva,
that's a good
potentially.
thing.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, you don't have to kill him because he can't pass it on to you. You need to keep him alive because he might have information, and also he might be the biggest bargaining chip we've got to get a cure for this thing. If you're gonna make this just about Anarchs.
Agreed.
Right.
And dog, you fucking owe me, and fuck y'all. I want nothing to do with any of this. And I walk upstairs.
Yeah, we're totally collecting a payday after this.
Oh, of course.
And I sort of let the other two go, and I sort of give Mr. Dalgleish and Cisco like the coldest Louise stare one can, and just turn heel and follow after her acquaintances.
Right, you have an address. It's actually within, you could walk there in the space of about half an hour or so.
Ooh. Oh, a really frosty, cold walk.
A really rainy walk in what time of year did we say it was? It's like autumn, September. So an autumnal rainy walk in late night Manchester.
But E and Zana are just like walking straight ahead, and I'm sort of like not plodding.
We've got
politely behind.
So what, we've got another good 20 minutes on game time or so. Okay, right. So you head off in that direction, and before long, you're walking down a part of Fallowfield where it's terrace houses, all red brick. Some of them are boarded up, clearly slums. Spray paint on the outside. There's a lot of rubbish and so forth littering around. It's a bit run down. You can see why this was. Is also where a lot of student housing is, where it is maintained, maintained as well as it could be. Big, bins outside are overflowing. You finally get to the address that Dog gave you, which is a old butcher's shop in Fallowfield. That's got obviously the grating on the outside of the windows, the wire on the outside to stop it being smashed in, but the windows are cracked in places. It looks like it's been boarded up for years. On the front door where they've clearly boarded it up, there's posters that are peeling for gigs and club nights. And and somewhere nearby there's a car which obviously had its wheel stolen and is looking all smashed up.
Nice.
It's a great place. Clearly the key you have is not for the front door.
No. All right, round the back then.
You head round back, and the key will fit it, and it takes a little bit of jiggling because it's quite rusty, and eventually it does open up, and inside, of course, is the back room of this butcher shop. There are old chiller cabinets. The doors are open. It stinks in there. The wall tiles, some are cracked. There are racks or where they would have hung meat up in there. There are still lining along the doorway. There's some stained plastic curtains. And there's some corroded shelves or tables, but that's in the back room. And then obviously if you look out into the front, again, there's the cabinets. Again, that's a bit smashed up. There's the odd kind of rat that squeaks as it runs around and scarpers off because clearly you've interrupted their nighttime forays looking for
their evening plans.
Yeah. There's also out back. There's the sign that at some point the back room has obviously been used by junkies to shoot up. So look like there's some needles on the floor. Mm. There is also a trapdoor to the basement.
Oh, cough.
Well, shall we descend?
No.
I'm not feeling comfy here, E.
What about any of this is okay? Am I the only one? Like, I mean, what? What the fuck?
I will go to the trapdoor and stamp my boot on it to be like knocking. So like.
Look, E, the way I see it, if we don't do this, they're just going to make life complete shit for us. So.
How is that different from what's already happening? I want to be home reading a book. That's my plans.
Well, there might not be a home to come back to if you carry on like this.
Motherfucker,
There's no response
own
from
that
your stamping.
space. There's always going to be my home to go back to, and I keep us all safe doing my job. What do you think about my blood sorcery, Louise? That thing that comes from my blood, that thing that could apparently affect us all. Suddenly I'm not able to do that.
I
This
open the
isn't-
trapdoor.
You open it, and obviously there's the crunching and scraping of the rusted steel as it yawns open.
Yep.
The smell down there is revolting, but also you can smell fresh blood.
Oh dear.
There are there are concrete steps that lead down into the gloom. There is barely any light down there. You can see it seems to be flickering. I would say to your eyes it would look like there's some sort of candle light down there.
I will. I'll activate my eyes of the beast, and I'll activate my eyes of the sense unseen.
Yep.
So I can, if there's any wards or anything like that, I can see them. But also, if there's any, it means I have dark vision as well.
Yeah.
So I can see in the dark now. And I'll see if if there is any wards or anything like that. I need to make a roll against them to perceive them.
Okay.
But also, I can potentially see it on supernatural creatures using this, I believe.
Good. Okay. So, who's heading down first?
Not it.
Fucking no.
Did Louise take the machete that they were given?
Oh yeah, I guess if I was the last person in and the other two didn't take it, I'd have gone fine and taken it. So I would say
They gave you a orange Sainsbury's bag to carry it in because
Oh, a
clearly
bag
you
for
didn't have a
life.
bag
Yes,
large
of
enough
course.
for it.
Oh my god! So I've been walking for half an hour with this horrificness that completely does not complete my outfit. Fine. It's like a cowards. I pull out the machete. I start walking down the stairs, not caring if there's something down there waiting, lying in wait.
Okay. You head down there. I guess being careful not to make too much noise.
Yeah, but I'm not.
You're
So I'm not like
yeah.
I've stamped on it twice. There's been no
Yeah.
answer, and I've thrown it open. It's like the subtlety has gone per
Yep.
se, but I'm not. Yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, you head down there, and I guess the others follow slowly.
I'm gonna need a rouse check.
Okay.
So I anticipate that we're going into a bad life situation, and so I'm going to activate feral weapons.
Excellent.
Nice.
How
So,
do your feral weapons manifest?
So my feral weapons manifest like an extension of my jaw and
Excellent.
into a pointy looking muzzle.
So you've got proper fangs.
Oh,
Yeah, like more like I decided not to go snaky. I wanted to go like a jackal instead.
Oh, awesome.
yes.
Okay, cool.
Very cool.
So skin gets darker, jackal like awful maw shape.
Excellent.
I'm gonna go for blood of potency as well and boost up my potency because that will help me potentially.
Yeah, that's right.
Protect myself.
So how do I make a rouse check?
You just roll a regular die, and on a 6+ it's fine.
273.
I don't know what I actually rolled. I just got a white square.
A white square, so you failed then. So if
I
it
failed.
didn't, yeah. So then your hunger goes up by 1.
Cool.
I'm good on the rouse check, but again, I've got more things to roll than people. Resolve plus blood sorcery.
Can't believe I've got a bag for life.
I like that. That's what you're upset about.
Yeah. No, this whole time you guys, you're obviously there's a whole ethical dilemma, all that sort of thing, and all, this stony face. And if you could read Louise's thoughts, she's like, oh, could have been at least like a boobs or something. But no, fucking.
That is 4 successes, but that is the 4 successes are coming from 2 criticals. which means that it's going to last for the entire night.
And is that a hunger critical?
No.
Okay,
no.
good. So that's boosted up your blood potency from what to what?
2 to 3.
So that means you can blood surge and add 3 dice to your dice pool.
Yep.
You add 1 die when using
Power bonus.
discipline powers. So that means that 1 die discipline power bonus is that's for activating it, and
Yep.
you can there you go, with your blood potency. That's what you meant, yeah, Ben.
Yeah.
So if you've got blood potency 1 or 2, you guys get to roll an extra die on your rouse checks for anything that's level 1. So you can pick. So
yeah.
So Ian, your blood potency is what?
A stat on my character sheet.
Yeah. What value is it? Is it a 1 or a 2?
1.
Is it 1?
Should be
okay,
1.
so you can.
Yeah.
So that rouse check, you could roll it again, and if it's a success, then you wouldn't have gained hunger.
Same for Louise.
What level power were you using though? Is it
2.
Is a level 2 power? Oh, okay. So you wouldn't have. It doesn't matter then.
Louise's that they gained it on though was a level 1, wasn't it? You're mesmerized. That's only a first level.
I think she passed that though, didn't she? Oh no, she would
she
re-roll
failed.
that. Yeah, she would have re-rolled that.
Yeah.
So you can re-roll. Just make a roll now, and we can reduce that hunger by
just
1.
what? Just with one.
Yeah, just 1
hunger dice.
Well, 1 regular die. Yeah.
Success.
Success. So yeah, you can reduce your hunger by 1 actually.
Oh.
Yeah. That's the great thing.
I knew it was coming from somewhere in my
blood
head.
potency, yeah.
Cool. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay, cool. So with all your things activated, whatever you're doing, extending your jaw to contain a mouth of dangerous teeth, or increasing your blood potency ready to fight so you can blood surge, etc., etc.
Or saving the planet with the 10p
you
bag.
head down into this basement, and Fiona, you stop still as you see a figure crouched over 2 bodies silhouetted by candlelight. This figure you watch scoop its hands into the chest of this person, and they begin to slurp noisily on what you distinctly know is blood. Their hair is longish and, clearly soaked, and is straggling around their face. And within this gloom, those of you with Eyes of the Beast and obviously can see in the dark, you can see that this is clearly a woman, stained with her mouth stained with blood. She's wearing, she's got fishnet tights that are torn in places, crop top, PVC skirt. Clearly, that's the role that she plays with hunting, and the way that she lives within society. And her face and her hair are slathered in blood. She is paying 0 attention to you.
Right. Is this person's back to me?
Or is they're kind of aside to you, yeah, because you can see them as a in profile.
Yeah, it's rather than me coming down so that they're just busy and then they're going to look up. Okay, fine. I just wanted to check that. Yeah.
Chris, when a vampire gets to 5 hunger, if they were forced to go beyond that, do they fall into torpor or anything like that, or is that only from physical damage?
That's from physical damage. They're basically in a pure state of I guess I don't know. I think if they were forced to really, I think if you harmed them enough that the body, if you gave them a source of damage that's that's aggravated damage, so a stake through the heart, or that will obviously do it anyway, but say you removed a limb, or they were taking hideous amounts of damage from sunlight or fire, if they had 0 vitae in their system, then the damage would be so much that the only way I think the body that a vampire body would respond is to fall into torpor, because it's too much trauma.
Right. So potentially in combination with Louise hitting them with that thing, I could then target their hunger to mean that they were starving and thus not able to.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah, that's an idea. Yeah.
I'm just trying to. I offer nothing for combat. I am not a combat character. I stealth and I run and I keep us safe from gribblies and werewolves. That's what I do.
That's fine. That's fine. I've got it covered.
Yay!
Oh dear. Okay. I'm gonna carefully, obviously, have the machete out, bag for life in the other hand, and I'm just gonna, hoping the other two have my back and they're not gonna do the cowards thing and run up back up the stairs and shut
You
the
got
trap
this.
door. After I've just been a complete bitch to them, and I just go, Jocelyn, what are you doing?
So you're not trying to sneak.
No.
Interesting.
I am.
She, at the sound of your voice, looks up and just slowly, like, looks in your direction. Her eyes are totally black, and she just snarls at you. And just that low growl gets worse and worse, and then she basically goes for you. You've just intruded.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Did anyone else just kind of want to prepare anything?
Yeah.
Like you're sneaking and just want to prepare yourselves?
Yeah.
So you can get the drop on her?
Yeah.
Okay. Because of
Louise
that,
assumes a position.
I think, yeah, so Ian and Ben, you will count as having... You can take the initiative on this. So you can act first because, you've... Basically, Louise has distracted Jocelyn, so you can do whatever you want. So what do you want to do?
Not fight, but I think we're going to. So, yeah, she's obviously in frenzy and is coming for us. So, yeah. Which means she's already immune to social challenges, right?
She's immune to any of that stuff.
Yeah. Crap.
Oh. That's fine.
I will swear in Iranian, and I guess I will attempt to thug the bad guy. If we get the drop on.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
There's nothing there. Effects of frenzy. So just to so they can only use physical disciplines, which is good for you. With 3 extra dice added to their resistance pools for... Oh no, they can resist mental disciplines, but with 3 extra dice. So you could do something. It's just going to be difficult.
It's going to be super hard, yeah.
So I have a +2 modifier with my feral weapons.
Okay.
Is that +2 dice?
That will be +2 dice, yeah.
Okay. And so strength plus brawl, yeah?
Yeah, that strength plus brawl will assume that you're doing this because you're surprising her as you lunge out of the darkness out at her. You're actually going to bite her.
So I want to clarify this, that I am not feeding. And so if I went with claws instead, there would still be blood everywhere.
Yeah, if you're using claws, that's okay. Yeah, if you're using, that's what I wanted to make sure.
It's because you've got your
you've got your animalistic snout, but you've got claws as well. Okay, you're using claws. Yeah, that's good.
That's
I just wanted to clarify.
Potentially, I'm infected because I didn't feed. I tasted the vitae and it hit me instantly. That's why I'm saying I only might be because I didn't feed and I resisted that thing. But that's what I was trying to get across.
Ben is he is right now asymptomatic.
Yeah.
Potentially.
So, I would like to not put this person's infected awful blood in my mouth.
Yeah, okay. So you're using feral claws, basically.
Pro tip.
Yeah. Go for it then. So yeah, you've got +2 dice on it, and
I have 4 successes. And one of those is an exceptional success.
Great. Okay, so you've got 4 successes.
Phew.
which means they are going to take straight away 4 points of damage because they've got no armor, they've got nothing else, they're not actively defending as you lunge at them in the darkness and rake them with your extended claws.
So that would be 4 points of aggravated damage.
Is it aggravated damage? I don't think feral claws do aggravated
No,
in this.
it's aggravated for
It's aggravated
feral.
damage.
Yeah.
Is it?
It's the ones you gain from the dragon clan that aren't aggravated damage.
Oh yeah, they do cause they cause aggravated damage to mortals. It says here, feral weapons.
Ah.
They do superficial damage. Superficial damage inflicted by these is not halved, so it is 4 damage, but it's not aggravated.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's strange.
They used to be
Okay.
aggravated damage in V20 and previous editions.
All right.
Anyway, so yeah, you do. You turn to ribbons the flesh on her back.
Yep.
And she obviously screams in and roars in pain. E.
I'm gonna hit her with an extinguished vitae, hoping that again I can force her to
Okay.
no blood in her system, use up her blood, and then fall into that torpor. So that's an intelligence plus blood sorcery. I got it wrong. I'm at blood potency 4, not 3, because I critted success, which increases by 2.
Holy
doesn't
shit.
change- Yeah, it doesn't change anything mechanically for this, but for my power bonus, I'm now adding 2d10, which is going to put me on 12 dice for this.
Okay,
Whoa.
and what's the resistance on this one?
She needs to make a stamina composure roll.
What is this? This is extinguished vitae, stamina,
Yeah.
composure.
273.
Okay, good. And it's not a mental thing, so she doesn't get the bonus on that. Stamina, composure. Some of these dice are obviously stamina, composure. Hold on, 2, 4, 4.
So glad you didn't leave me. It was just like, come on,
I
come
won't
on.
lie to you, Louise. It was real tempting.
Oh, I know.
Okay, and you roll yours. So I've got 3 successes.
I got 8.
Excellent. Yeah. So the user, blah 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 blah. Target vampire. A win increases the target's hunger by 1, while a critical win increases it by 2. So we'll count that as 2. Well, she's at max hunger then. She's just like totally ravenous, even more so than what she was before.
Again, specifically, my hope was that by doing this, I'm draining the blood that she's fed already, and the damage will cause her to
Yeah.
fall
Well, that's
unconscious.
because now by doing that, she can't. She definitely
Can't
now
heal.
can't. She can't surge. She can't heal. She can't do squat
Nice
with her
work.
blood.
Yeah.
So you've now got this even more. She was ravenous before, even more ravenous now, and she is going to more than likely attack Louise because that was the person directly in front.
Yep. That's
We should
fair.
deal with initiative rating on this.
Yes.
To see who goes first.
What does that entail? Me?
Who goes first? Usually one side has surprise. We've done that. Close combat between blah blah blah. If necessary, where does it say? Usually, I can never remember how actually initiative works in this.
I look very composed during this, so I think I could use that stat.
Just give me a second.
Do not worry. Do not worry.
So many.
I
Different
do. I actually
systems.
do have an idea, something I can do. But it depends if I survive this. So-
Just don't get bitten.
Yeah.
It's more about who wants to do something. So
right.
you're wanting to attack her. She's going to attack you.
Yep.
Therefore, you're attacking at the same time, and it's whoever gets the best roll. She's not going to be actively defending, so she's using her strength plus brawl plus her automatic bonus from potence.
Oh dear.
If it's an automatic one that doesn't require a rouse check, which I think there is something she can do that doesn't require a rouse check. Let me just check. I think it should just give her a bonus. Free lethal body. That's no point prowess. That's requires that. So no, she's not going to get the bonus then from any of
Yay!
that.
I did something in combat.
Thank God. That could have ended really poorly. That's
Strength plus brawl, so that's all her dice in hunger. Does her frenzy, though, of course, give her a bonus in fighting because she's going to be pretty fucking mad.
Probably not against kindred though. Probably against mortals.
We'll just check.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. No, that's all bonuses to other things. While frenzied, no health. Obviously, there's no. She doesn't. She's immune to any penalties due to mutilation and harm. So there's nothing there. So I'm just rolling those 5 dice, and you're rolling your strength plus your. Well, if you use the machete, it's going to be weaponry. It's going to be melee. Sorry. And and
Okay.
you can gain a +2 because it's a big fucking machete.
Worth remembering as well, you can always blood surge as well.
And if you want, you could rouse to get a blood surge. That'll give you +2 dice.
Okay. Yeah. So how do I? So, quick question: how do I blood surge then?
So blood surge, you just roll your roll a d10, and that's your round, and see what the result is.
Okay. A success.
So that's a success. So your hunger doesn't increase, and you add
Thank
your
God.
blood surge bonus for this turn, which is add 2 dice to this action.
2 dice. Oh, fab. Okay.
So it's your strength plus melee plus 4 dice in total.
Okay. Sorry. Strength plus melee, so that would just be 3, and then +4. Yeah, I got that right. Okay.
Nice and simple.
3 successes.
Oh, not so great.
No.
So in the flurry of you using this machete, hacking away at her, causing essentially very surface wounds, nicking her and so forth, she rakes across your chest with her clawed hand, and you just take a point of damage.
No worries. I use the bag for life to try and stop her.
At which point,
Protect me, Sainsbury's!
It's a Sainsbury's.
it's the round, and then everyone can do what they want. So it's basically saying what the intent is, and because it's multiple opponents, she has to split her dice between you if she's going to try and fight all of you, or just fight the one. So, so I guess Zana's going to do the same kind of thing again.
Yeah, do it.
E is going to.
I'm thinking I might just try to grab her arms and pin her so that she can't.
Yeah, that's a good plan to try and pin her.
I'm not the strongest person, but right now with my blood surging and stuff like that, I've got a better chance. I am a non-combatant. I'm designed for.
You're at the top with the trapdoor. Yes.
And
No, I'm not. I'm down here with you. I should be
Wishing
up at the top. Yeah.
And obviously, I guess Louise is still going to use the machete and try and look menacing with it.
All right. Quick question then. So my idea would be to try and get the bag for life over this person's head, and
Right.
and and if Zana's
That sounds like you're both
do
doing. Yeah, it sounds like both of you that 2 of you are gonna do grapple rolls while going to try and pin them.
I think just if I see E's going for the arms, I'll go for the head.
Yeah. Okay. Good. So I think the order we'll do things in is Zana is obviously still attacking from behind her, so you can essentially inflict even more hideous amounts of damage with your claws. So if you want to roll for that attack now.
Sure. I'm going to do a rouse check too because I'm going to blood surge to go with it.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So let's do that first.
Surging.
I fail, and so I gain another hunger.
Ooh, that's good.
And then I'm at.
It's a pretty messy fight that's going on. You're in a really dark basement of a butcher shop. There's 2 dead bodies on the floor. There's blood on the floor, and this person is coated in it. And
2, 3, 4. So I'm at 7 dice now.
Wow.
And I get 3 successes. That's sad. Hello.
So you got 3 successes. So again, you slash at her, which is not enough to take her down or anything, but you know, again, you're almost cutting through to the bone on her back, like you're revealing ribs with every raking claw. You know, flesh is falling off or peeling away, or hanging by a very small kind of sliver of skin.
Sinew.
Yeah, and then the two of you can try and grapple her. So I guess you're both making strength plus brawl attacks.
Yep.
They're going to attack either of you, which means they lose 1 die from the pool when they defend against each successive opponent that targets them. To attack multiple foes, a character must split their dice pool. So essentially, that gives them 3 dice, and it's going to roll 1 against E, which is a miss, and 2 against Louise, which is 1 success to hit. But you're grappling.
I get 3 successes to
Yeah.
try and pin her.
And
So I get a super success on a normal die, success on a blood die, and a critical fail on the blood die. Whatever
okay,
that means.
a skull on
Sorry.
a blood die. A skull doesn't mean
Yeah.
anything unless you've got no
Unless it
successes.
fails, that's what. Yeah.
So
that's
yeah,
what
you've basically got more successes such that you don't get hurt by her claws as she is, or bite, or trying
Yes,
to bite
2
you or anything
successes,
like
yeah,
that.
that's right.
She's not really
Yeah.
trying to bite you at this moment, but you're able to grab her both by her arms and you just slam her against the wall, and you're holding her there as she tries to, like, you know, snapping at either of you as you're trying to, like, hold her by her arms.
Bag over.
And then
Bag
yeah,
over
you
tight.
put the bag of life over her head so that she can't see what she's doing, and you just
Yep.
hold her there.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, what do you want to do at this last moment where we'll wrap up for this session? You have her restrained. What do you want to do?
Did we bring a stake with us?
There's
We've only
mostly
got the
some
mission.
broken wood somewhere from an old pallet that you can use.
I will violently attempt to stake her.
Yeah, okay. You can do that. You crack off a piece of wood. It's going to be kind of it's quite thick, quite wide, and yeah, there's no need to test for this. The others are holding her
Holding
against
them.
the brick wall, and you just, with all your weight, just force it straight through her chest, and she shudders and then goes rigid. And I think we can leave
Right.
the session there.
Whoa.
She didn't bite anyone. You're
No.
okay. Okay.
Nice top.
We can dish out another. I think we can definitely dish out 2 experience points to everyone for that session because that was really
Yay.
good fun.
Yeah.
Right, that's a cool cliffhanger to find out, because I'm really interested how you're going to deal with her and get information from this vampire that is clearly in a near constant state of frenzy. It's going to be
Yeah.
very curious how you deal with that, and how you deal with the rest of the scenario and the infection that's going on. Right. Well, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time. That should be the plan. If you want to find out more, go to Darker Days Radio, darker-radios.org for the podcast. Go to at Darker Days Radio on Instagram and Twitter, or of course Darker Days Radio on Facebook. Go over to the YouTube to catch up on the previous session, and obviously all other sessions from like Iron Kingdoms and other things. You can download this scenario from Dark Days Radio. It's called Make Blood Boil, so you can find that. You can download that and read along. We're about just over halfway through this. Anything else to plug, Fiona? There's
always a What Am I Rolling or a DM's book club coming out.
Yeah.
Our Warhammer one's coming out soon. Hopefully at the end of the month. So
Excellent. Again, thank you to all of you for taking part, and
you.
and it's always interesting to seeing how this scenario gets played in a different way, reactions to it. And I hope it's being freaky and gross and a bit weird. But it's definitely
It's
messy,
gross.
which is what we definitely want from this. We want it messy. That's what this chronicle's about. It's always messy. But that's everything for now. So we'll see you in 2 weeks' time. So bye for now.
Bye.
Friends.